I noticed her on the first day long before she ever turned around to look at me. Emily walked into my office like she didn't belong to this gray, polished world of glass and chrome. The city hardened most people, filed down their edges. But she had something dangerously unfiltered about her. An energy, a softness, a spark under her ribs she tried and failed to hide. And God, I should have looked away. She was 22, new intern, brilliant mind, reckless heart. And I was her boss. That should have been the end of it. But some people enter your life like a match dropped in a dry forest, quiet at first, and then unstoppable. I tried to be cold with her, strict, distant, the version of me the corporate world respected, the one who never smiled unless it benefited the company. But she laughed at my seriousness, questioned my decisions, looked straight into me as if she could see the fractures under the surface, fractures no one else ever bothered to touch. One evening, she stayed late to finish a report. The city lights spilled through the windows, painting gold across her hair. She stretched, rubbed her eyes, and whispered, "You never go home, do you?" I didn't answer at first. She deserved the truth, but my truths were sharp, rusted things. Home, I said, is not a place I visit often. She stood beside me, close enough that her scent, jasmine and rain, quietly invaded my lungs. "Then maybe that's why you look so lonely," she said gently. Her words hit with the accuracy of a knife. No one talked to me like that. No one dared. No one cared. Except her. Our first forbidden moment was an accident. Or maybe destiny. She dropped a stack of papers. We both bent down to pick them up. Our fingers brushed just a second, a spark, a breath. But it was enough. She looked at me like she felt it too, the magnetic pull in the tiny space between our skin. "Andrew," she breathed. I should have stopped everything right there. Should have walked away. Should have reminded her of contracts, rules, consequences. Instead, I whispered, "Don't say my name like that." "Like what?" "Like you're not afraid of me." Her lips parted. Her pulse raced in her throat. She didn't step back. "I'm not," she whispered. "Maybe I should be, but I'm not." That was the moment my world began to burn. We didn't cross the line that night, but the line became thinner, blurred, invisible. Late-night coffees, shared secrets, stolen glances, her hand brushing mine, my voice lowering when I said her name, her breath catching every time I came too close. She awakened a part of me I'd buried under years of discipline and fear, the part that wanted to hold someone so gently they would break open into trust. But I'd learned long ago, anything I loved, I lost. And she was too young, too bright, too full of future to be tied to a man whose past was made of ruins. The night everything snapped, the storm outside mirrored the storm inside me. She showed up in my office long after everyone left, soaked from the rain, cheeks flushed with something like courage. "I can't do this anymore," she said, voice shaking. "Pretending I don't feel something when I look at you." I stared at her, at the trembling of her fingers, at the fire in her eyes, at the vulnerability she trusted me with. "I feel it too," I finally said. Her exhale, broke something fragile inside us both. She stepped closer, slowly, painfully slowly. I felt her breath on my neck. Her fingers brushed my jaw. The world narrowed to her touch. Then, "Stop pushing me away," she whispered. I grabbed her wrist gently, but firmly. If I let go, I would cross a point of no return. "You don't know what loving me costs," I said. "I decide what I want," she whispered. And then she kissed me. Soft, hesitant, trembling, but real. My resolve shattered. I pulled her into me, my hand sliding through her wet hair, her mouth opening under mine. The kiss deepened, turned desperate, her body arching into me, my breath mixing with hers, the rain still dripping from her clothes onto my shirt. It wasn't dominance. It wasn't submission. It was two broken pieces finally finding their shape. We spent the night together, not rushed, not wild, tender, slow, a kind of intimacy I didn't think existed for people like me, a kind of love that terrified me more than losing everything I'd built. The morning sunlight was merciless. She slept in my arms, curled against my chest as if I was someone safe, someone she could trust with her life. That was the moment I knew I had to leave. Because loving her meant destroying her future, and losing her meant destroying myself. So I chose the one pain I knew I could survive. I slipped out from under her, dressed quietly, and watched her one last time, the softness of her breath, the curve of her lips, the innocence of not knowing what goodbye feels like. I left a note on the pillow. Just one sentence. "You deserve a man who isn't afraid of the way you love." And then I walked out, not because I didn't love her, but because I loved her too much to stay. Sometimes, in the silent hours of the night, I still hear her whisper my name the way she did that first evening. Fearless, soft, dangerous, and I wonder if she ever understood that the only thing I ever truly feared was how deeply I could love her